Now listen to this. Tesla was up 1.2% for the week. It was up 11.43% for the last month. It was up 18.87 for the previous 3 months. It was up 33.17% for the last 6 months. It's up 66.48% for the past 12 months. Well, then it's only up 39% for the past 2 years, which is less, of course, but still, that's a really good deal if you bought 2 years ago. And it's up 182% for the past 5 years. Seems like a pretty good stock to me. A lot of people complain about the action in Tesla stock over the last 5 years. I guess it really, oh, yeah, that's right. It depends on when you bought it. Anyway, so maybe we'd like the stock to be doing even better than this. And even though that seems pretty good. So what might cause the Tesla stock to do even better? Well, that would be giving Elon Musk a pay package. And that proposal is now on the table, finally, as of last Thursday. We've talked about it. And CERN Basher and I are going to give you a deep, deep dive later tonight and with his regular slideshow stuff, and you're going to love it. And I highly recommend you watch that show if you care at all about this pay package, because he really gets into it and shows us what it really means in detail. However, for now, I'll let CERN do that talking later, but I was curious to see what Fortune magazine had to say. And I think probably this article from Fortune magazine is not going to age that well. I'm not reading you the whole article, just snippets, but I think you'll get the point. An apt nickname for the fresh plan, Fantasyland. For the most part, the targets are so gigantic that given Tesla's current poor results and declining prospects, the chance that Musk will achieve even the lowest bogeys look highly unlikely, and the probability he'll capture the elevated ones, virtually zilch. What's still inflating Tesla's stock price are Musk's extravagant claims for hugely profitable products, from FSD software to robotaxis to humanoid robots that are constantly getting delayed, and none of which are yet reaching customers. What will matter going forward are the net earnings and cash flows that Tesla's bedrock auto franchise generate, and uncertain new ventures and the construct's stretched numbers are so mind-bogglingly elastic that it wouldn't be surprising if they're more demoralizing than inspiring for Elon Musk. This it's like this is the kind of writing that you get, it's this kind of analysis. Fortune magazine is writing this analysis after their horrible misses from 2018. The Tesla board is dreaming if it believes that the pay deal will uncork another wonder like its predecessor in 2018. The directors are practically taunting Musk by saying, "You want that huge new chunk of the company? Boost the share price enough to deserve it then." Elon Musk did it once, but as the saying goes, even for Elon Musk, past performance is no guarantee of future success. Well, I don't know. With Elon Musk, past performance so far has always been a guarantee of future success. There are no exceptions. I'm still waiting for one. Do we remember what people were saying about when he bought Twitter? And, oh, look, he lost. Oh my gosh, he paid $44 billion for this. And now it's only worth 20 billion. And oh, that's just, oh, the end of the world for Elon. Sad, sad for Elon. Oh yeah. Now what? Oh, anyway, let me just give you my thinking, just a brief analysis of my thinking, not the whole CERN Basher thing that's coming up. You don't want to miss that. The key to this whole package, in my opinion, is the final tranche of 400 billion. And that has to be over several quarters. It's $400 billion a year of EBITDA. And it has to be over, I think, a series of quarters. I forget exactly the details. But anyway, that would be about 40x this year's earnings and about 25x Tesla's best year ever. And so when you're talking about a big company, you get into the law of large numbers and you get into some other things. But what the Fortune magazine guy is missing is that he's talking about unlocking the TAM that's called all human labor. Anyway, at a 40 PE, if he makes it at a 40 PE, the stock would trade at a market cap of 16 trillion. And with a share count of around 4 billion at that time, after Elon's shares, are added, the stock price would be around $4,000 a share, or 11 times the current level. I believe that this is a very low estimate of the stock value in 10 years. But I think if we hit those numbers in 10 years, nobody would be complaining. With this pay package, Elon is likely to be motivated to spend the majority of his time on Tesla. This is also partially due to the complexity of the Tesla product lineup and thus the need for his time. I know SpaceX is a really complex company too, and Neuralink, but I think in most of those cases, he's got the teams in place to do almost all of the work, where I think at Tesla, the robot, I just truly believe, is more complex than the the rockets on Starship, or even the heat tiles. I think those are things that, while very, very difficult, probably can be handled by folks that without a ton of his attention. Getting this Optimus robot to do what it needs to do, I think, is probably way up there at the top of the most complex things that humans have ever tried. Now, the proxy that is going to be voted on November 6th includes the need to create some kind of succession plan. And this will be maybe the biggest test Elon Musk has ever had. In fact, maybe the successor will have to be an Optimus robot who is being fed by Grok, because you're not going to be able to find a single human being that will be able to take over Elon's amazing skill sets. In fact, unless one of his kids is a chip off the old block, there's no such thing as replacing Elon's many gifts, not even with a half a dozen people. The good news for us is that all of the pieces of the puzzle should be in place long before 2033 in order to usher the world into an age of abundance. If anything, the other big question for Elon will be to provide the world with guidance on how to live with abundance, which will be much harder than living with scarcity. I can promise you we're already seeing that around the United States. Now, there will be a streaming presentation out of Las Vegas on Monday night at 8 o'clock Pacific, and this will be about Megapack. It should hopefully start 15 minutes late or later, because everything that Elon ever does starts 15 minutes to a half an hour, in fact, sometimes 45 minutes to an hour late. And so that if it starts at least 15 minutes late, probably the Monday Night Football game will be over. And then I will probably publish my video late on Monday. I'll probably wait until I can get to see what they say about the Megapack. So that my late video on Monday night might not be out until after 9. But that's you do what you have to do. That's 9 o'clock Pacific, of course. They will have updates from the energy storage part of Tesla, and speculation is abounding. It's what Bradford Ferguson was saying the other night. It's going to be a mini Megapack, about 1/8 the size of a Megapack, and it will potentially have a built-in capacitor for a quick hookup to the grid, because there's this huge shortage of transformers and probably capacitors as well. Anyway, we're not sure if we'll get a clue on the capacity for this product, but the TAM, as usual, will be humongous for this product. And maybe this means that Tesla somehow is going to get into the capacitor business, either making them themselves, or maybe they've put together some kind of a project with some maker to make capacitors for them, because I don't think there's enough transformers and capacitors available from existing sources. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll talk about this as part of that streaming video. xAI's Grok 4 model is ranked first on the Future X Live benchmark, outperforming GPT-5 Pro in predicting events across politics, economy, culture, and sports. Musk highlighted prediction as a key intelligence measure, crediting which we know from Brian Wong, crediting Grok's advanced capabilities. Updates includes Grok Code, which has now surpassed 1 trillion tokens, and new features like speech in Imagine videos just popped out 2 days ago. Users are encouraged to try expert or heavy modes via the Grok app for very accurate forecasts. Number one in forecasting. I don't know how we could use forecasting. Dazzlerati. Tesla has officially launched a new supercharger program in the United States, catering to business owners who are sure to love it. What a concept. Again, if I was younger, I'd be setting these up everywhere. Tesla's supercharger network is the world's most expansive electric vehicle charging network with over 70,000 locations worldwide. EV owners can also access other networks, making the charging experience well-rounded and available at nearly every location you could possibly imagine. The company is now taking things a step further by launching Supercharger for Business, a new way to enable fast charging for Teslas and other EVs through stalls that are owned by you, but managed by the company. They say you can, quote, you can purchase and install superchargers at your business. They wrote that this is on a website in the about the program. Superchargers are compatible with all electric vehicles, bringing EV drivers to your business by offering convenient, reliable charging. And you can charge whatever you want to. You can overcharge, or you can charge nothing as part of the deal to get them to come see you. There are several advantages to this program that benefit owners, customers, and employees alike. It is truly a great opportunity for everyone involved. For company owners, the presence of superchargers is extremely beneficial for customers, as it can be a convenient way to attract people to your business. It will also provide your employees who drive EVs with a fast and convenient way to charge at work. The stalls are also customizable and can have your customer logo placed on the charger. For customers, they will be able to pull up to your business for a meeting or a visit and charge during their stop. EV owners know how convenient this would be. For employees, they can now fast charge at work. It's a huge benefit to have this available. It can also be more convenient than typical chargers at offices, which usually have a lower power output and take hours to gain range. In a pinch, the superchargers will be more convenient. Businesses also have the ability to control everything they want on the supervisors, including pricing, as I mentioned. It says, quote, we treat your site like we treat our sites, by providing you with a full service package that includes network operations, preventive maintenance, and driver support. We're able to guarantee 97% uptime, the highest in the industry. With EVs becoming more popular every year, this is something that many businesses will take advantage of to not only gain customers, but also potentially sway an employee to their company for employment. Not to mention, this is a great advertising opportunity for your business. By the way, did you know this is Randy Kirk? And please hit like and subscribe, all that stuff, and hit notify, because later on tonight, Cern Basher, in the morning, it will be Phil Beisel. Talk about that in a minute. The biggest economic news of last week was the much ballyhooed miss on the jobs report. Of course, if you follow me, you know that I nailed it. Yeah, I nailed it, 100%. I said it'll be under 50,000. I said there's no way it's going to be over. I went so far as to issue warnings. I warned you, and I said other people should. I made it on X. I said you should be warning everybody. Be prepared. Trump should have gone on television and said, here's a warning. There's no way the number's going to be over 50,000, at least if it's honest. Anyway, this is going to be the kind of number which we should get used to for the several months to come, maybe quite a few months to come, unless Trump starts opening up the borders, not just the southern border, all the borders, to invite in qualified, reputable, lovely people to come into our country. We're going to need to increase immigration if we want to get this number up. I don't think we're going to increase federal hiring, so that's not going to help. Now, these numbers in the next few months could be 50 to 100,000, unlikely. I think 50,000 will be the average if the real numbers are, once they have all the revisions in, I think the real number is going to be around 50,000. You see, because speaking of revisions, on Tuesday, we're going to get a massive revision for the 12 months between last April 2024 to March of 2025. These would be all 100% Biden months, because even the 2 months that would have been in Trump's administration, you can't blame or credit Trump for anything that happened in February or March. These would all be 100% for Biden. The total for that period has already been revised down to 1.7 million, or about 140,000 a month. So 140,000 a month, and now we'd be at 50,000. Well, that might make sense because of no federal hiring and all the immigrants going home, etc. But no. Everybody that's making an estimate thinks it's going to be 500 to a million lopped off of that number. Let's take the middle. Let's take 700,000. Take your 1.7 million, take away 700,000, and now you're down to only 1 million hires for the year. What is that? That's about 82, 83,000 per month. Now, 22,000 totally makes sense after you take away federal hiring. And in fact, you have federal firing, not federal hiring. So, and then you take away the immigration, and then you take into consideration AI. Yeah, altogether, yeah, I'd say, why did I come up with this number? 20. I didn't say 22. I think I said 40. So when I say I nailed it, no, I was the closest, I think, of anybody. There was a couple of other people that were talking this number. Anyway, of course, the 22,000 number might be way off. The 22,000 that they told us on Friday is probably going to be way off. It's probably going to be negative 20,000, or maybe it'll be positive 125,000, because the numbers we're getting from the BLM are horrible. The revisions on Friday were way bigger than the total number that were added. Anyway, what impact on the economy will this be? What kind of impact? What kind of impact? Getting only 22,000 jobs or getting 50,000 a month average? What kind of an impact should we expect? Well, if you want to get the rest of the story, then you want to watch Larry Goldberg and I as we go over the Cathie Wood numbers. That was just a few hours ago, and there is the card for that one. And then coming up tonight will be Cern Basher at 7 o'clock tonight with details on the comp package. And then tomorrow morning, got Phil Beisel, and he's going to give you some really shocking and exciting news about Optimus. And so, stay tuned. Make sure you're, hitting notify and all that jazz. And then maybe $73 on Patreon. That'd be fine. Or just hit me up with a $100 bill here on YouTube. That happened last month. Yeah. I think it's Gary. Was it Gary? Was it Gary? No, it was Beetle. Yeah. $100. Say, hey, take your wife out to dinner. There you go. All right. So this is Randy Kirk. It's been great talking to you.